Tonight on Cronkite News, the Hispanic organizations here in the Valley working to protect our environment.
Plus, the Valley program using dogs to help some students cope with things like anxiety. We'll meet the people and the pooches behind it.
In the men's Final Four will be in the Valley before you know it. We got a taste of what to expect next year. Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Alex DaCosta.
And I'm Aaron Gonzalez. Thank you for joining us. National Hispanic Heritage Month is celebrated from September 15th to October 15th every year. The goal is to honor and recognize many contributions of Hispanic Americans to history, heritage, and culture.
Here in Arizona, some Hispanic organizations are contributing to protect the environment. Cronkite News reporter Adriana Gonzalez Chavez introduces us to some of the organizations.
Arizona is famous for its natural beauty, hot desert summers, mild winters, and resources like water that are essential for the state's agriculture.
So the time is now for us to be past the incremental change and have bold policy solutions when it comes to environmental justice and environmental protections.
Local Hispanic organizations and leaders promote the importance of protecting the environment. Organizations such as Chispa and Hecho are empowering Latinos by providing them a platform to contribute their perspectives and knowledge about public land conservation.
Caring for the land, being stewards of the land, enjoying the activities that a lot of our ancestors enjoyed, which is hunting, and we camp on the land and we recreate on the land.
According to a national study done by the Pew Research Center, a top concern to Hispanics is climate change. 39% say they are personally concerned, while 42% say climate change is one of several important concerns. The designation of Baj Nawajo Itakugveni in the Grand Canyon National Monument, protecting almost 1 million acres of public lands, was an effort Hecho helped in.
I mean, there's something really amazing about having committed Latinos to a particular issue.
For Terán, environmental policy is an important issue.
Fortunately, our communities many times are seen as dispensable, and that should not be the case.
In Phoenix, Adriana Gonzalez Chavez, Cronkite News.
The city of Tempe voted to make National Indigenous Peoples Day, which falls on October 9th, a paid holiday. The city council voted unanimously at its most recent meeting and said in the release that this action demonstrates the city's commitment to being a more inclusive and culturally diverse community. Tempe joins Phoenix and other cities in adopting the paid national holiday instead of Columbus Day.
Scottsdale city leaders will host a meeting tonight over a controversial plan to house some experiencing homelessness. In June, Scottsdale city leaders voted to use $940,000 from a state grant to house homeless people at a hotel in the city. The appropriation allows the city to rent out 10 rooms for use as an emergency shelter. It is not clear the specific hotel. Concerned lawmakers say that some members from the zone in Phoenix and foreign nationals have used the program in the past. The temporary program is up for renewal this month. During tonight's hearing, Scottsdale's mayor will discuss the future of the program.
One Valley organization is bringing a unique therapy team to schools across the valley.
Kite News reporter Sydney Whitty is in the newsroom with the imprint the organization hopes to leave.
This is a heartwarming story. Positive Friendships is a therapy team who helps students learn, grow confidence, and improve self-esteem through their school-based program. I went to a school out in Mesa to see them in action.
This team of volunteers have fluffy ears and even hooves.
He's in here.
This is Winston, one of the therapy dogs for Positive Friendships.
Is that fun, Brody?
These animals also help students with different learning abilities become more social and learn functional skills.
I like to pet them and feed them and play with them and sleep with them.
The senior manager of a Place for Everyone Learning Center sees direct impacts of the animals on her students.
It's all body language, and again, it teaches them how to use that body language throughout their whole lives, throughout day to day. It is extremely impressive how the animals are able to bring that out more so than we are as humans with our spoken language. They don't have that.
Karen says parents have only seen positive responses to the animal therapy, and students look forward to seeing their furry friends each month.
The ones that do have the verbal spoken language. They are very impressed that their kiddos bring forth the fact that, oh, tomorrow's pet therapy day. We have to have calm bodies. We have to have calm minds. We have to have calm mouths.
The CEO of Positive Friendships realized there was a need for a program like this after she noticed her son, who is on the autism spectrum, was more responsive when interacting with their French bulldog.
And I asked him, hey, if I put Zoe in the swing with you, will you stay in the swing? And I had no idea, like, was Zoe gonna stay? Was he gonna stay? Is this gonna work? And it did.
Positive Friendships has over 115 animals that helps over 1,600 students across the valley.
They have animals including pigs, snakes, and even an alpaca. And since 2014, the organization has provided free pet therapy with curriculum that stems from Tasha's experience with her son.
We have an in-house curriculum that we use, and it's basically everything I was doing with my son, I took out of my head and put it on paper to do that. So each time we go into the schools, it's always a different animal and a different activity.
The school program assists over a dozen schools across the valley, and they plan to continue helping more students and individuals each year.
Positive Friendships have different types of services, including a clinic-based program and an early childhood program. If you or your pet are interested in becoming a part of the team, go to positivefriendships.org. In the newsroom, Sydney Whitty, Cronkite News.
Thank you, Sydney. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is considering a rule that would protect a tiny endangered species along the Arizona-Mexico border. Quito Baquito Springs is a wildlife area and man-made pond that is home to species found nowhere else in the world. The Quito Baquito Trionia is the tiny spring snail up for consideration. Experts say the snail is the size of a grain of sand and lives in the water. The agriculture pumping, drought, leaks, and now border wall construction has caused significant damage to the area. The agency is giving the public 60 days to comment before the final ruling. Lincoln Jordal, an advocate for the Center for Biological Diversity, is hoping for the protections.
It's this incredible little spring snail that doesn't exist anywhere else in the world that has evolved to survive in the middle of one of the hottest and driest places in Arizona. So I think just based on its resiliency alone, it deserves our love and protection.
And cities all across the nation are looking to Phoenix to combat climate change. After the break, what officials are doing here in the Valley to keep our city from getting even hotter.
Plus, Mother Nature puts on quite a show last night here in the Valley. But is there more in our future? Your weather forecast is next.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
this is Sun City Garage,
to sports coverage,
against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news.
The bill also gives parents the ability to see,
and entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communications Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
This is CN to Go. I'm Emily Olson with your Wednesday news briefing.
Do you want to create innovative content for Cronkite News? Do you enjoy listening to podcasts? Then CN to Go is for you. Cronkite News to Go is a podcast where students cover the latest headlines. Students become audio producers and hosts and will learn how to write, record, and edit stories. You can listen to the latest episodes on these platforms.
Did you know newsrooms today are looking for bilingual journalists? Cronkite Noticias prepares you to cover diverse communities. In Cronkite Noticias, you will obtain an unforgettable experience
Nopales como este van a tumbar.
Cronkite Noticias.
and develop your skills with the latest technology.
Welcome back. The Office of Heat Response and Mitigation was groundbreaking when it launched less than 2 years ago. Now, more and more cities are looking to replicate the strategy.
David Hondula, the director of the office, made an appearance in Washington today. Cronkite News reporter Alexandria Cullen was there with Hondula's message.
From cool pavement to shaded transit stops to a greater focus on electric vehicles, Phoenix is taking the initiative to blunt the effects of transportation on the climate. That's the message Phoenix official David Hondula told to a Senate panel on Wednesday.
The City of Phoenix is a national leader in the testing and implementation of technologies that alter that reflectivity, the reflectivity of the road surfaces, through our Cool Pavement program.
Hondula's testimony came as Phoenix is suffering through almost 2 months of record-setting heat. But Senate Environment and Public Works Chairman Tom Carper said extreme weather is not just limited to Arizona.
Climate change is an issue we can no longer afford to ignore. I think most people bought into that. And that means investing in our transportation infrastructure and making upgrades to protect against extreme heat and weather.
Carper said cities like Phoenix and Los Angeles are turning to innovative materials, including cooler pavement, which gives off less heat. Hondula pointed to other efforts like a push for electric vehicles that aim to ease climate change. And one witness called for engineering on roads and bridges that will stand up to weather extremes. For workers, the need for solutions is now, said Travis Parsons of the Labor International Union of North America.
When it comes to heat, you're talking about relative humidities that are different temperatures, wind, personal protective equipment, type of work you do. But you need to have a fundamental ground that you start with when it comes to worker protections.
Parsons and others said that when it comes to dealing with climate change, one size will not fit all regions in the U.S. And Hondula said it will take levels of government to find solutions.
The projections of a warmer future are motivating our work very strongly every day. I'd argue that the work is already important.
While the panelists said there was not one solution for all parts of the country, they did agree that the need for a solution is urgent. In Washington, Alexandria Cullen, Cronkite News.
Well, it was anything but hot here in the valley last night. In fact, it was a wet and windy night for most of the valley yesterday evening. So, is there any more rain in our near future?
Adriana Gonzalez Chavez joins us from the Weather Center now with the answer.
Good evening, folks. We're currently looking at some video from last night's storms here in the valley. As we can see, there was quite a lightning show for us last night. And then looking into our rainfall totals from this storm, Sycamore Creek almost received a whole 3 inches of rainfall, while Lake Pleasant received a little bit over 1/3 of an inch last night. And then Papago Park here in the valley, sadly, we only received a little bit over 1/10 of an inch for storm weather last night. And then looking at our evening planner, clear skies all through tonight with 10 p.m. only hitting a high of 88 degrees. So getting a little bit cool. And then looking into our future cast, some good news for Arizona. Focus of showers in Flagstaff and Tucson area. It disappears, but some good news. It comes right back. Mostly gone though by tomorrow night, except for Hallbrook area. And then looking into our low temperatures for tomorrow, Phoenix will be at 79 degrees, Kingman at 61, and then some chilly temperature lows for Grand Canyon and Flagstaff area, only hitting 43 degrees. And then looking into our high temperatures for tomorrow, Phoenix will be at 101, Grand Canyon at 70, Kingman at 86, and Page at 77 degrees. And then looking into our 8-day forecast, Thursday through Friday, clear skies, some good news for Saturday and Sunday, possible chance of clouds, and then Monday through Thursday, clear skies, with Thursday only being at 96 degrees. I'm Adriana Gonzalez Chavez from the Cronkite Weather Center. Back to you.
Escaped jail and was on the run for nearly 2 weeks, has been captured and taken back into custody. This was the moment officers caught Danielo Cavalcante. He was the one in the Philadelphia Eagles shirt. Cavalcante escaped a Pennsylvania prison on August 31st. He was serving life in prison after he was found guilty in the murder of his former girlfriend. Officers found Cavalcante earlier this morning after a U.S. Drug Enforcement aircraft found his heat signature and sent a Border Patrol dog to capture him. Cavalcante was spotted 5 different times via neighborhood surveillance cameras prior to his recapture.
If you didn't get to travel much over the summer, this fall might be the perfect time to fly. According to expected trends, flights are going to get cheaper. The time from September through October usually has cheaper flights, but a report released this week from the travel app Hopper shows prices are already down for early autumn. And the Federal Reserve says the post-pandemic travel surge is starting to wind down. These factors could have flight prices to Europe down by about 30% and domestic trips by 29% compared to the summer.
I'm Ryan Bunnell, and coming up next, I'll have your Cronkite Sports Report. Brittany Griner is being recognized for making a comeback like no other. Find out what her next milestone is when we come back.
My heart is racing right now.
Fasten your seatbelt.
You're uncovering the truth.
These are consequential things. Yeah.
Oh, look at everybody.
I feel the presence of all these people. I've got history.
No.
I wish my mom could be here to see this.
Amazing.
It's like the most vital stuff, right?
Tuesdays on Arizona PBS.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
This is Sun City Garage,
to sports coverage,
Against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news,
The bill also gives parents the ability to sue.
and entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
Welcome to the Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Ryan Bunnell. With the men's Final Four event set to come to the Valley this spring, the excitement is already building. This morning, Desert Financial Arena was the place to be as ASU men's basketball coach Bobby Hurley and Final Four representatives unveiled the first of many fan jams. Cronkite News reporter Sam Stern was on hand.
It was a festive atmosphere outside the Desert Financial Arena, home of the Arizona State Sun Devils, which hosted the Final Four fan jam. But come next April, Glendale will play host to the NCAA Final Four. For Dan Gavitt, Senior Vice President of NCAA Basketball, the idea of bringing the event back to the Valley was an easy one.
By every measure, the Final Four in 2017 was a huge success. The second most attended Final Four ever, great fan experience, great student-athlete experience, and the city and the region just did such a good job of organizing and running the event that we were anxious to go back for 2024.
The Fan Jam pop-up experience, which will tour Arizona in the coming months, will help generate excitement leading up to the big event. It's a form of fan engagement that will offer the opportunity for fans to practice their shot, as well as taking selfies with the championship trophy.
There are many other either low-cost or no-cost events for fans to get involved with, and so the Fan Jam is a way to spread the news about all those fan-friendly, family-friendly activities.
Speaking of Final Four experience, Sun Devil head coach Bobby Hurley won 2 NCAA titles during his playing days at Duke University. So of course, there are lofty goals for his ASU team this season.
As coaches, we teach our players to stay in the moment and attack every day and try and dominate each day, but you got to have long-term goals and dreams of going to a Final Four. And I told our team, let's try and play a home game in the Final Four. So that'll be our goal for the Sun Devils.
The men's Final Four is set to happen on April 6th to April 8th, and it's clear that everybody is excited. For Cronkite News, Sam Stern.
The Phoenix Mercury have embraced the return of their starting center, Brittany Griner, since she came back from her 10-month detainment in Russia. Thanks to her support system and, of course, hard work, Griner was named the AP Comeback Player of the Year. Griner looked like her usual self in her return to the court. Before the All-Star break, Griner was ranked in the top 10 in points per game, shooting percentage, and blocks per game. This earned her a starting position at this year's All-Star game in Las Vegas. And good news for Mercury fans, she's ready to come back to Phoenix next year. ASU women's soccer has been off and kicking this year. After recording their first loss on Sunday, Sun Devils are looking to build on their 4-1-3 start. With 11 freshmen on the roster, ASU soccer has a lot of young talent to be excited about in 2023. Veteran head coach Graham Winkworth isn't looking into the future. Instead, he's focused on this team's development.
One game at a time, you know. Yeah, we're going to be going into Pac-12 play soon, but ultimately we got one game before that, and we focus on one game at a time, and we'll do that all season long. When you've got a team that's so young, you can't focus on end of season goals, because who knows what's going to happen. I don't even know what's going to happen. All I know is that we've got to work to get better every day. We've done that today. We've got a couple more days before we play Colorado College, and then we're going to focus on getting better for them and hopefully put in a strong performance, and then we'll think about the next one.
The Cardinals are back at practice this week, looking to make adjustments after their loss against the Commanders in the season opener. Daniel Linz joins us now from the newsroom with at least one bright spot from that season opener.
Despite the Cardinals' loss to open the season, their defense looked strong. They held the Commanders to 20 points, forcing 2 turnovers in the second quarter. Outside linebacker Dennis Gerdek believes having such a diverse defensive unit will work in the Cardinals' favor throughout their season.
We got dogs in our room. So being able to roll a deck stat, and everybody's got their own play style, got their own unique kind of twist on what that pass rush looks like. How are you ever getting settled in your sets?
Anyone that's up on game day, especially that front, they'll have a role and they'll play. So I thought they all did a pretty good job.
With the loss, the Redbirds have now dropped back-to-back season openers for the first time in 7 years. The Cardinals will look to bounce back in their home opener against the New York Giants on Sunday. In the newsroom, Daniel Linz, Cronkite News.
The Arizona Coyotes are getting ready for the upcoming season, hosting fans from all over the valley for Media Day yesterday at the Ice Den in Scottsdale. The Coyotes are still in search of a permanent place to call home, and team officials have an idea of where they'd like to be.
Getting folks out there to the West Valley on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, on a Thursday was just really challenging. And when you look at really where the hub of the valley is going, it's really towards the Central and the East Valley. The T that we've set from North Scottsdale down to Gilbert, Chandler, into Central Phoenix, that is where 60% of the growth of Maricopa County is happening. That's where we believe our organization and our type of business needs to be in.
The USA basketball team let down many fans when they fell to Germany in the FIBA Basketball World Cup semifinals. As a result, many NBA players are expressing interest in suiting up for the Paris 2024 Olympics. Kyle Kuzma made a post on X asking for more NBA stars that can play a role on the roster, and Phoenix Suns guard Devin Booker responded with 3 simple words: "I'll do it." Booker is familiar with the Olympic basketball after being on the 2020 Olympic team, and sources say LeBron James is looking to lead the team to victory by reaching out to other All-Stars, such as Suns forward Kevin Durant. The United States has taken home gold in 4 straight Olympic Games. That's it for your Cronkite Sports Report. Now back to Alex and Aaron at the desk.
Thank you, Ryan. And coming up next, family of Flyers.
This heartwarming photo captured a full circle moment for a father and his son.
My heart is racing right now.
Fasten your seatbelt.
You're uncovering the truth.
These are consequential things.
Yeah.
Oh,
look at everybody.
I feel the presence of all these people. I've got history. I wish my ma could be here to see this.
Amazing. It's like the most vital stuff, right?
Tuesdays on Arizona PBS.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
This is Sun City Garage.
to sports coverage,
Against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news,
The bill also gives parents the ability to sue.
and entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
Many young boys look up to their fathers for guidance as they grow and become adults. Some even follow in their footsteps.
And that was the case for Ruben Flowers, a pilot for Southwest Airlines. This is Flowers as a toddler taking a photo with his pilot dad. And 30 years later, they took that photo again, but this time as co-pilots. Flowers says it was his dream to fly with his dad and came just in time as his father was nearing retirement as a captain. The elder Flowers says seeing his son next to him for his last landing was a dream come true. And get this, the father and son aren't the only Flowers that fly planes. They say there are 7 pilots total in the family. And that's it for Cronkite News. Thank you for joining us.
And to see top Arizona stories anytime, log on to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.